What's up? So if you have a shop, just like me, just your garage, your home garage, wherever, if you have a workspace that you know you work in, you run into the same problem that I'm always running into, and that's it doesn't take long for things to get absolutely cluttered and trashed. I have stuff scattered all over the place. One of my biggest problems that I have would be this back room. So as you can see, as I turn the lights on, tires, 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 and tires. I mean, I got tires all over the place, and then just junk after junk, just piled up everywhere. Tires is like my biggest problem though, because all of the space I could be using is completely tied up with just tires. Nowhere to put them. So I got to thinking, and I said, man, what am I going to do with these? And I come up with an idea. It cost $103. That was for more screws than what I needed. It's actually more wood. It's actually ended up being about perfect, right? So I bought 11 boards of 2x4x12, and I sacrificed one to make structural supports, right? So I'm going to show you what I built. I built a tire rack. Now, the reason for rebuilding this was all them tires that are back here in this room are going to go up here. Empty tires, or, well, I say empty. Tires that are not on rims are going to go up top, and then anything else will go on the bottom. I've got more than enough room. As you can see, I've already got one set of tires up there. I just couldn't reach the top at the time. Guy was actually supposed to come get those this weekend, so that's why I left them there. But I should be able to put all of my wheels and tires on this rack, and everything will be out of the way. So then that should effectively open up my room to give me more room to put stuff in here, which can also give me room to put like this oil bucket that I don't use, or put a spare engine in there, or this shopping cart that's just in the way, or that compressor that's in the way, or more tires. That's actually a table. And I needed the TV higher to see over this car, so I'm using my garage door opener that I've effectively not installed either. Thanks, Charlie. And let's try to get some of this cleaned up today. This is what my biggest goal is today, is try to get some of this mess and clutter fixed up. LS. Ta-da! As you can see it, they're all there. So those are the ones I actually bought them for somebody so they could use them. So he's paying me back on those. That's why I don't want to put them up top. If they were ones I was keeping, I'd put them up top, out of the way. But for right now, those can sit there because I don't want to have to get them down. That is a lot harder to put stuff up there than I thought it was going to be. Like, I knew it was going to be hard, but I thought I'd be able to stand on the table and use it as a step. And I was like, oh, it'll be easy. The table's not quite sticking out far enough because the rack has to be away from the wall. So you have to have air gap from the wall because the tires stick out past it, yada, yada, yada. Lo and behold, though, I think what I'll end up doing is adding a support in between those two beams right there because it is bowing a little bit. So that'll pull some of the stress off this bottom one and link it to the top one so that it carries the weight a little bit more distributed evenly. I may even put a support onto the table or something, but the reason why I put it as high as I did was I didn't want to take away from my workspace. I want to still be able to sit here and work on my mess or whatever it is I've got going on right here. I want to be able to use this table and still be able to use this table. Now, the way that the bottom of this table was designed, it's kind of sandwiched in between this table. So wherever the table goes, it has to go for now, which that's easy. That's 3 bolts on the front on each side. So that's 6 bolts per side. Okay, there's 12 bolts, 12 screws holding it together, not bolt screws. Got all that stuff done. I did buy, so these right here are 2x4x12s. I cut 1.5 foot off of each one to make them only 10.5 foot tall. The reason why I did that is I actually used them for these supports. I got one here, one there, one there, and one there. That's a total of 4 supports on the initial frame. But then I went back and I added this one and I added this one, which I had to cut them out of another board. Now I've also got these 2 supports, which I also cut out of another board. So I've got one on each side there and there. And to be honest, it takes up a little bit of room. I did go a little bit excessive You know, Angel said, hey, why did you build a rack so dang big? Why does it need to be that big? That's ridiculous. You're taking up a lot of room. Well, yeah, I am taking up a lot of room, but there's also not a whole lot of spare room up there. I can get, what, 6 more wheels and tires up there, and then one here. One slick will go right there. That's it. So I've got room for 2 or 3 here, and 1 or 2 over there. That's it. And that's even saying I use that room for that. Right now, you know, we've got stuff scattered everywhere, but lo and behold, the biggest result is we now have got our back room back for the most part. Now, I still got some cleaning to do in here. I'm gonna clean, mop, get all this stuff situated. There's one air compressor. This is the one I use on the hose reel. That thing is older than I am. It belonged to my dad. It's on its last leg. I will have to look at replacing it, but I can actually get in here now. I got a shelf full of random junk and my water heater, which I can access now. So all this has been cleared up. I now have room to move around. So yeah, that's what I decided to do with that. That rack is freaking sweet. I love it. It's gonna come in handy big time. I may make some tweaks to it. It was a rough idea. I went to the store and said, I think that'll work. So I spent $103 and some change. I bought some bolts. Sorry, I keep saying bolts. Habit. Screws. I bought a pack of like 50 screws. It was like 15 bucks. Each board was $7 and some change. I bought 11. So if you're wanting to build something like this for yourself, 11 is what it took to do that. I do not quite recommend going 10 foot high on storing stuff because that's really, really high. You have to have a ladder. Kind of, I'm going to say semi-dangerous just because of the fact you got to pick that much weight up, take it up over your head and throw it on. Yes, but it works. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. I don't plan on getting that stuff down very often, so for what it is, it's going to be great storage. If you guys are going to build something like this, I highly recommend it solely for the fact of all this aerial headspace. I can't do anything up here. I might as well make it work for me. I'm paying for that area just the same as I am the rest of the shop. So just keep in mind, if you're also paying for a shop or your home garage or something and you are just running out of storage or you're cluttered, build your rack. Put stuff up on the wall. Use your wall space. Use your aerial space. If you've got rafters, put stuff in the rafters. You don't have to use your floor for absolutely everything. So my little tech tip to you guys, use your aerial space. I'll catch you guys next time. Come back and check out the future videos. Make sure you hit the bell so that you get notifications when we post stuff. We're going to put out 1 video every single week, sometimes 2, mainly 1. Catch you guys next time. Make better choices. So it's the next day. Thought more about this rack, and I noticed it was kind of teetering a little bit. So I picked up on it. Can't tell now. We've pretty much got it all straightened out. What we did do, though, I spent another $27, basically, $26, $27. So we're at like 129 bucks in this whole rack now. That's including the new bolts and another 2x4x12. And we added basically these frame strength and these gussets, this thing here to the table, which would have normally been the floor, but there's a table underneath this one. And we added one there as well. And we also reinforced it down here as well. We put a bar here and a bar here. So there's one on both sides. It's screwed into the back and it's screwed into this leg of the table. Now the reasoning for that is, like I said, we seen it kind of teetering when I come in today, and I just felt uneasy about it. Now I am going to anchor it to the wall as well with some strap. I have some leftover ratchet straps down here, and I'm going to anchor them to the wall with that. I have to be careful just because of the type of wall that this is. Unfortunately, I don't have like a really good, super sturdy wall. But this thing don't have to be perfect. It just has to hold the tires. I just don't want it to risk falling on something and damaging a customer car or me. I don't want it to damage me either. I don't want to get hurt either. So for the record, if you're going to do this, as I found out the hard way, if you build it 12 foot long like what I did, it doesn't like it. You're going to have sim center supports, probably 6 foot or so is about, which if you went like 8 foot or something, you may not have to have those center supports. I don't know. That's what I did. But I'm working on getting the rest of the shop cleaned up. I've been cleaning on this stuff and whatnot, so just want to make sure you guys got that before I ended the video. Don't forget your supports.